going on, people? Get a lot of questions about consulting and some other things. And tonight I'm going to address a few of those concerns and questions. Let's see. Come on. Make sure this thing has started up. There we go. We are rocking and rolling. Let me turn off that. Get the volume down. There we go. All right. So here's the deal. This new coaching program's coming out. Video marketing coaching, business development, and mindset coaching. And below this video is an email list. Now, get on that list. This is paid coaching, no freebies, no strategy sessions, none of that. Now, the people who join the groups are going to be first in line for the coaching, and they're going to get a break because they're in the group. I know them. We communicate. I know what's going on with that person, and I feel I would be of more service and value. Just letting you know how that's going to go down, because I've gotten several emails about this, but this is how it's going to go. Lots going to go down in the group, and if you're not really sure of your direction, the best thing to do is to join one of the groups. And I'm going to give you some help here with the video marketing. That's going to be the hardest one. That's going to be the group with the most stuff going on. That's going to be really, really hard. It's going to be like being in fucking graduate school, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to be getting a graduate degree in video marketing from someone who actually does video marketing for a living every day. I know, crazy, right? But that's how it's going to go down. But for those of you who are kind of in that, I don't know what I want to do phase, coaching may not be the thing for you. Now, I say this because if you don't have anything going on, we're going to spend a great deal of time talking about your dreams, your wishes, your ambition, all of this other stuff, and you're going to be paying a lot of money. So what I suggest for you to do is go ahead and get all this free information out here. You know, there's so much information out here. I'm going to talk about why free information doesn't work like people think it will. But go ahead, get the free information, do some research, and start putting that information into play. Then after you do that, I think you'll be a better candidate, and I will be better for you in terms of coaching and mentoring, because I can tell you what to do. I can give you good tactics. I can give you good training. I can give you great insights, but I can't do it for you. You've got to do it for yourself. You've got to be willing to roll up your sleeves and go to work. And that typically becomes the issue because, hey, it's the internet, right? Super easy. Don't have to work that hard. Don't work hard. Work smart, right? That's the thing you hear. But typically, from my experience, from me to you, working hard has been a big part of it for me and most of the people that I know I consider successful. I mean, shit, even high-level criminals work hard, okay? High-level successful criminals, you know, the people who steal the $1 million, $2 million jewels, they work their asses off, even though, you know, what they're doing is illegal. But success on all levels across the board requires hard work. Now, let's talk about the video marketing. Since there's not going to be that many people there, we can really roll out. I think you probably would be better served to join the group, because this is what's going to happen. You say you're going to do a YouTube channel, right? You're going to spend a good 30, 40 days just strategizing. So it's not really good use of your money to be talking to me for 30, 40 days before you've gotten things. Because in the group, we're going to cover cameras. We're going to cover art. We're going to cover how you do this, how you do that. We're going to cover a lot of the preliminary stuff to get you started, to get you rolling in the group. And you might not need me as a one-on-one consultant, because the information in the group is going to be so good. But typically, if I'm going to work with you one-on-one, It's not going to be for, simple stuff. I mean, it's going to be complex strategy. I mean, it just makes sense because the floor for working with me is for video marketing is 1,500. That's where it starts. And it's going to be a 3-month deal. So that's $4,500, right? And for that, you need to kind of have some stuff going on. You need to, if you want to pay me that and you feel that this will help you, but you're really going to need to have some stuff going on. And that's one of the reasons I'm creating the group. And that's one of the reasons that I have structured it a certain way, is to give you a ton of value, because this is the thing. Video marketing is a long-term play. This is not push a button and you can hire someone who will do all the heavy lifting for you. But if you hire a good video marketing agency, they're going to charge you $1,500 to $10,000 per month to manage your account. Plus, you got to have money to spend for ads. Yeah, that's where the real deal is. It's going to be $2,000 to $10,000 a month, or if your account is substantial, more. That's just to do research, put stuff together, keyword stuff, look at the niche, and that's a lot of research, and that's a ongoing fee per month. Publicists make anywhere from $4,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 a month just to get your name in the paper, to get you hooked up with interviews and things, right? So that's going to be like the floor of working with me, because I'm going to take you through an assessment. I'm going to look at what you want to do. And one of the things, and even before you do a consult, the best thing for you to do is come through the group and actually see if you like my methodologies, because a lot of the things I do and talk about are so different from what everyone else is doing, because I do my own work. This is the lab. Years and years and years ago, a long, long time ago, I used to work in a lab. And that's what a lot of my methodology and stuff is based on. So that's the video marketing stuff. That's the jewel. That's how I make my money. That's how I put cheese on the Whopper, right? Now, for the business development, it's going to be a little different. What I'm going to do, because there's so many people who don't know what they want to do, and there's this fleshing of concepts and ideals. So I'm going to offer some different things in terms of evaluation services. Say you have a business ideal, and what I'm going to do, 100, 150 to 400. I haven't decided, per hour, or maybe 2 or 3 sessions, maybe 450 for 3 sessions. The first session, what's your ideal? What channel should you go? Stuff like that. That's what that's going to be. Once again, the list is below. So when I go ahead and formally put all this stuff up, because instead of me creating all of this stuff, I'm going to have a few conversations with you guys, and then we can kind of work on the price. Then we can kind of work on what people are looking for. Then we can kind of work on what people need. So I'm really going to be flexible there, and it's going to, we're going to build that. So now the video marketing, I've have clients and I'm working. So I already know how that works. I already know the process. So that's why that price is set. But for, business development, service business, stuff like that, I'm going to make it very, very affordable, because if you're just starting out, let's be real, you don't have any money, or you don't have a lot of money, or you don't have a lot of money to waste. That's just reality. And it's not good use of your money to pay me a lot of money just to talk 3 and 4 times a month when you don't really have anything going on. It's not good. It's just not good. So we're going to have kind of like an incubator. That's what Culture Lee Hustler is going to be. It's kind of like a business incubator. It's a business development group mindset. A lot of stuff's going to happen there that's going to be more affordable for you while you build your business. Because I have built 12, 15, I lost count. And my first 5 businesses failed. And they failed because I didn't know what I was doing. And I can tell you, there are people on the internets who are saying the same thing. But it's going to take you a few months to really get your shit rolling. This is reality. I know, you can possibly do really something wonderful and magnificent in 30 days. But the reality is it's going to take 6 months to a year to really get your stuff rolling. And I think the best use of your time and money is an incubator group such as Culture Lee Hustler or some other group, and work on that ground and foundational stuff first. Because if I had somebody ask me about grants, I had someone ask me about RFPs and LLCs. If you're not making any money, why are you even thinking about that stuff? Those things, an LLC, an S corp, those are legal entities designed to protect and maximize revenue. If you have no revenue, why are you get deep with your articles of incorporation and your operating agreement for your LLC and all this stuff when you're not making any damn money? It makes no sense. Make the money, feel your way out through your business, whatever that may be, and then once you make that commitment, then we can start doing that stuff. Because so many people, and I've talked to a lot of people. Earlier this year, I had the phone number on the channel. I talked to well over 400 people. 90% of those folks were very unclear on what they wanted to do. They were clear on, I want more money. I want a business. I hate my job. I'm looking to do something different. They were clear on that. But the specific vehicle for all that stuff, not even close to being clear. And I was just sitting there, that's why, Coach Elite Hustler is $25 a month right now. Once they get it open and running, the price will go up. But right now, anybody can afford it. And the group is the thing is to put a lot of people who are in the same boat together so we can build something. And you can kind of look, because the way the group's going to run is you're going to have homework, and then you're going to come in and read your paper. That's going to be the thing. And I already know that when you do that to people and say look, you're accountable. You are responsible for doing X, Y, and Z by such and date. People freak out. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I just wanted to hang out in a group and pretend like I'm a business owner. I wasn't trying to be a business owner, Glendon. Let's not get carried away here. Don't get crazy. Looking at all places, people got these big groups, all these students, Udemy, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people in this course. But a lot of those people got in for free. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to making you successful. And that's going to be holding you accountable and sifting and going through, getting through the bullshit, cutting down to the quick, and hey, you want to run a service business? Okay, let's run a service business. You need to knock on doors. You need to talk to people quickly, and you need to develop a sales process. You want to make arts and crafts and sell them on Etsy? Okay, you need to create a production line. I mean, it isn't rocket science, but I feel that the value of this will be for people who need the accountability. So as I flesh out, and I'll do more chats like this, and we can talk about it, and essentially for the business development, and put that together. Let's see what we got. Santiago B. Heck yes. RNS. What is RNS? Trevor Kelly. Hey, Glendon, love your stuff. Didn't know you were doing live videos now. I have been doing live videos on YouTube for 6 years. I mean, seriously, what is that? I've been doing live videos seriously for 6 years. What is that? Now, I'm going to take that, what Trevor just said. Hey, Glendon, love your stuff. Didn't know what you were doing live videos. Now, this is a cornerstone of marketing. One of the things is because everybody's being bombarded by ads. Hey, look at me, Pokemon, all this other stuff. And you got to hit people up. And all right, I'm going to just say this. I hate that word Santiago B. Seriously. I hate any version of it. You didn't know that, so I can't be mad at you, but I'm just letting you know I hate that shit. But you got to break through the attention, because a person's going to have to see your content, your marketing 16, 20 times before they buy sometimes. Well, that's one of the reasons there's a lot of Netflixing of the channel. That's, and what we got? Click, clack, jack. I know a little bit about Shopify, but essentially, and no problem, because you didn't know. And that's why I just said, hey, I just don't like it. Now you know, and we're good. But Shopify, all right, here's the thing. Here's the secret to Shopify. Getting traffic. I don't care what you sell. I don't care how good your store looks. I don't care if you pay a designer 10 grand to do your templates and have your store looking like swank. You got to get traffic there. So either you're going to do it through content marketing, you're going to spend money on ads. So your first thing is not about Shopify or Gumroad or eBay or Amazon or Etsy. Your first question is, what can I create that's so compelling that I can get traffic easier? That's your first thing. And that's stuff we're going to talk about because for a while, I didn't even have a website. I had this YouTube channel and Gumroad. That was it. So it's really about taking traffic and putting it where people are going to buy something. And that's the whole deal. I mean, you have Facebook ads. And let me tell you, Facebook ads are a bubble. Right now, if you can pay $2 or $5 to acquire a lead right now, 3 years from now, it's just going to be 15, 20, $30. You can seriously mark your calendar, put it on your calendar, what Glendon said, because there is a finite level of inventory per interest. And you're better off, like, do Facebook ads. I'm not one of those people like, don't pay for ads. No, do Facebook ads, but you're going to need a very, very good content marketing strategy in play as well. It's going to be mandatory. Even the big brands have to do this, and they have budgets bigger than the per capita income of small nations, and they have to do this. Which is better? Depends. See, to answer your question with a degree of the respect that it deserves, there's many things I need to know, because sometimes Google AdWords will work better than Facebook ads for certain things. For certain things, YouTube ads work better. It just depends. There's so many variables to neither ride out. Join the group. We're going to discuss that kind of stuff, because that's going to be things. WGI Pros Vision. Didn't you say platforms like eBay and Amazon are bad? Yeah, I did. This is my thought, and I'm going to go really deep into that. With eBay and you do well, there's a high. You go to a garage sale, you go to a storage auction, you go to a thrift store, and you spend $50. Then after you sell everything, you've made $600-700 after all expenses. That's remarkable. That's great. It's also addictive. It's just like, tie me off, Freddie. And I'm speaking to you as someone, as a recovering addict. I know what it feels like, and I know that once you get that kind of high, it gets very, very hard for you to do something else. It took me like 3 years after I stopped buying units and stuff to calm down. If you can't go to a retail store, if you're saying stuff like, "Good Lord, this shirt's $80, I could go to Goodwill and get it," you are an addict, and it's going to make your life very challenging, because the way that resell and picking and stuff, it's going to get harder. It was already hard, and it's going to get harder. So, and also it's not scalable. So for those reasons, I was like, don't do it. Don't get caught up, because once you get that high, Stevie, tie me off. I mean, it's going to be real hard for you to do something else. Yeah, there's going to be some interesting things there. What about testing with Instagram post-paid ones? Just to get customers. Once again, it depends on. All right, see, this is the thing with paid traffic. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Hold on, I'm gonna hold this up. All right. Okay, you see this? I took the phone out the case. All right. This case is paid traffic. Many folks are spending money for paid traffic and they don't have the phone. The phone is your back end, your sequence, your email, your offer, your process. All of that stuff must go together like this. So you can spend, there are people out here who spend a lot of money to acquire customers, and they don't have a funnel in place. It's a waste of money. So my question to you, do you have a funnel? You got to have a funnel. You got to have that thing built up already before you start doing your ads, because when you do paid traffic, you got to tag it. your stuff. And when I say tag your stuff, someone goes to Instagram, right? And then they go to your website. If you don't tag it, you don't know that that customer came from Instagram. So you're having this great month, right? And you're spending all of this money on Instagram, right? Then something happened with one of your older posts. Maybe TechCrunch or somebody featured you on something, but because you don't know this and your stuff isn't tagged and you don't have a system where you can monitor, like, oh man, my blog post is now on TechCrunch. That's where all this traffic is coming from. Then you think it's the spending of the money, and then you spend more, even though that's not where the traffic. I've seen someone do this. It's really bad. You got to build that. That's going to be a lot of the stuff that we'll talk about in Culture Elite Hustler. This is beginner stuff, and there'll be other people in the same level, so you can share information and build together. But that was kind of it. Once again, the links below, and this is for the paid coaching and stuff. And if you want that in the future, and right now I'm not accepting anybody because I got all this stuff going on, so I'm not accepting any new clients, but I suspect November I should be free, I think. And then, you can get on that list and we can talk about it. And then my people in the groups will always come first. That's one of the perks of being in the group. Why be in the group if you don't get treated with specially? You're a VIP and shit. So they would get all the early slots. And once I get all of this stuff, and we'll have, like I said, we'll have a few more conversations about this. And we'll talk. But once again, the list and this is paid. Just to give you some parameters. Video marketing, $1,500. That's the floor. It can go up from that. Business development, we're going to work on that. I'm going to say 2 something to 4 something. We'll put together a package. And then mindset training, it's probably going to be like $100 or something like that. It's going to be definitely a little different, or it could be more, but we're going to talk. We're going to talk because nothing's set in stone. I'm going to get some feedback. I'm going to like, hey, what group of people have the biggest need that I can serve, right? And then we'll go from there. All right, so for that, thanks for the folks who showed up. I'll catch you people later because it is 10:04 and I need to go wash my stanky ass. Yep, I got to do that stuff. So with that, I'm out.